I can hear your chewing of your bone.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. We share our opinions on random subjects from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, our likes and dislikes, things we've seen, heard, or read, what we did, and what we did. You know, stuff and junk. Hello, my name is Albert.
My name is Ruthy.
And we're entering our second week of our vacation. Second week of our celebration of the 9-year anniversary.
Albert's on vacation
I'm
mode.
on vacation.
I feel like I'm on vacation since I'm recording this live with you here in California.
That is true. So yeah, so we are recording this, full disclosure, on April 9, 2024, one day before Who What Where's Why's 9th anniversary, as well as a little bit over a week from the Stuff and Junk Show's anniversary, which will be on April 19. So yeah, as if everything went according to plan, I already edited this episode. I'm literally just uploading it. No work necessary. I am on vacation. So yay!
Woo!
So let me, but
Catalina wine mixer.
Catalina wine mixer. What? So for this episode, I thought we'll give you guys a little bit of a what's up. And if Albert can find why is my phone barking? Stop barking,
I'm
phone.
sending you the pictures.
Oh, I forgot to put my phone on vibrate.
Why isn't your phone on silent, Albert?
Why isn't my phone on silent? Before we get to the my WhatsApp story here, recently, I guess it'll be almost 2 weeks from now when you hear this episode, I went to go see a concert for Emei. Emei. Damn it. What was her name? Well, how do you pronounce her name? Emei.
What?
Emei. I'm Emei?
What? What are you saying?
I went to a concert recently.
You don't know what they're called?
Well, no. It's a singer. How do you pronounce her name again?
How do you spell it?
Emei.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I'm pretty sure it's Emei. She's a local singer kind of thing. She's
Emei.
Emei. I posted her songs on my Instagram.
Huh.
My friend introduced.
Oh, she's based in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she's based in New York, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she lives in California, though.
Born in New Jersey.
Okay, but she lives here in California.
Obviously she wants to be a pop star.
I guess. But point is that my friend introduced me to her. Basically, the way it went was like, he's probably listening to this, right? Hey, Randall. The way it went is like, hey, Albert, have you heard this artist? I go, no, not really. Like, oh, do you want to go to a concert to see her? I'm like, sure. If you need somebody to go with you, I'll go. And the next thing you know, it's like, okay, Albert, I got you your tickets. Oh, so I guess I really Luckily, I do like her music, so there's that, and I enjoyed the show quite a bit. So there's that. The one thing I did notice is, besides the fact that you see like in Taylor Swift concerts or Olivia Rodrigo concerts, and yeah, you can hear my dog squeaking her toy. Besides the fact that you normally see the stereotypical thing where everybody has their phone up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
in her concert, not a lot.
Really?
There were some, but I thought there would be more. Like,
really?
I thought it would be like just an avalanche,
like a Taylor Swift concert where everybody had their phones up.
Yeah,
or
like practically everybody. You would say like maybe like 85% of people had their phones up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This one, not really. I wouldn't even say. I can't even say half the room had their phones up.
Was the crowd older or younger?
Well, no, it's younger. Me and my friend were definitely like the oldest people in the one of the oldest people in the crowd.
Huh? Interesting.
Right. And which brings me to this article that I read here. It says here, Gen Z is ditching iPhones for $100 feature phones, and the numbers don't lie. Okay. Yeah, another article here says Gen Z is regressing back to old limited dumb phones to limit screen time. And also here is U.S. feature phone market stages comeback as Gen Z millennials advocate digital detox.
Gen Z is officially the new boomers.
I guess. Actually, Gen X is the new boomers. But
no, but I mean in terms of attitude and just like the things that they do. Like they need to be in bed by 8, and things like that. And then
really?
Yeah, they like their sleep. They don't drink as much.
They don't drink as much.
Yeah,
they don't have sex as much.
Yeah,
it's. But then that's not boomers.
Exactly.
Boomers like to drink and boomers like to have sex. So
do they? They're prudes about it.
they're prudes about it. But then the more prudish you are, the more.
Oh yeah, the wilder.
I mean, you watch Revolutionary Road?
Well, that's true. That's true.
But anyways, so Gen Z apparently, the generation that grew up with iPhones and with iPads and screen time and all
Ironically enough, don't want it anymore.
Now they're like, we've had enough. We've had our fill. Maybe we're on it too much.
They're all of 23 years old and they've had their fill.
Is that the reason why TikTok works for them? Because it's short form videos, right?
Yeah. And I get it because you don't need to invest a lot of time and then you're constantly, you constantly get that high of being entertained within a few seconds.
Right.
And you just keep going and you just keep scrolling.
But that's the thing though. If you keep scrolling, then like an hour passes by, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Or if you're trying to do a dance video, you take one take. Let's do it again. Take another take.
It takes so long. Remember when the last time I was here, the kids were doing a TikTok video? It took them an hour and a half.
Wow, that's
to
dedication.
Do one video.
Wow, that's dedication.
It was a lot of dedication.
No wonder they need to detox from their phones.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like you end up, because then you see something like, oh, I want to change it. Oh, I want to change it. Because I guess, it's not like when we were growing up, you take one picture, that's all you got. So.
But here's the thing though.
You don't get a redo.
So despite the fact that I say this, I haven't seen any proof that Gen Z is detoxing digitally except for this concert. So it is kind of weird, and I wonder if my friend feels the same way too. Like if it wasn't as much as he thought.
Sorry to cut you off, but do you think it has something to do with? Is she that famous yet, or maybe not yet?
It's a sold out show.
Yeah, but
no, she's not like famous,
right?
But she's known. The people who know her.
Okay.
Emei. Pretty sure that's how I pronounce her name.
I wasn't there. I don't know. I've never heard of her.
Well, if you looked up Instagram, it's on there. But yeah, it's like it was surprising. I mean, I kind of envy them a little bit because as a Gen Xer, I'm kind of like I'm on my phone a lot.
Yeah.
This smartphone was the thing I wished for like 40 years ago. Essentially, a computer in your pocket.
Basically, I mean, it's the best thing in the world. Like, I don't, sometimes I could even work off of my phone. I don't even need to pull out my laptop.
40 years ago? I mean, I made myself too much. 30 years ago. Right. So I don't
have an iPad now, too.
What? Everybody has to have a tablet.
I don't have one.
Ruthy, you gotta get a tablet.
I have my phone.
Bigger screen.
It's the same thing.
Bigger screen. Anyways, point is that if Gen Z happens to be listening to this, I don't know who, but please tell us. Is your generation trying to ditch your phones and getting digital detox? I want to know. I want to know. And if you are, congratulations. Very healthy of you to do. All right. Thanks for listening. Oh wait, no, we're not done. We're not done yet. Hey, I'm on vacation.
Albert was scrolling past the notes.
I'm on vacation. It's the 759th episode of the show.
And he said keep this short.
I know, right? It's the 759th episode of the show, and it's currently 5 a.m., April 9, 2024, in St. Gallen, Switzerland. And it's time to take a look and see what's up.
Wait, that was the intro?
Yeah. We have like a small segment, and then we do the what's up thing. See, am I editing all this? I have no idea. You listen, you'll find out soon enough.
Stay on your toes.
Yeah. So, St. Gallen, Switzerland. It is the place where this company stays in. I will tell you what it is as soon as I open the link. Janky. So the title of this episode here, and the title of this article here is Hackers Found a Way to Open Hotel Room Locks Using Keycard Trick. The hacking technique lays bare the security vulnerabilities of certain models of SafeLock brand RFID-based keycard locks used in 131 countries worldwide. That's roughly 3 million doors worldwide at 13,000 properties.
Wow.
And you probably stayed in one of them.
Ew.
Yeah, so the company behind the doors is Dormakaba. And essentially what it is 2 quick taps and we open the doors. Walters, a researcher in the Computer Security Industrial Cryptography Group at Belgium's KU Look at that.
Like a master key?
Like the technique begins with obtaining any key card from a target hotel, reading a certain code from that card using an RFID read-write device, easily purchased for $300, and then writing 2 key cards of their own. When they tap these 2 key cards on a lock, the first one rewrites a piece of the lock's data, and the second card opens it.
Oh.
Scary. Now, there hasn't been any solid proof that people have taken advantage of this, but the fact that it's a thing that actually can happen, yeah.
Well, that's why every time if I'm staying at a hotel, even if I'm not by myself, like I make sure that lock is on and that there's like something else extra keeping that door closed.
Yeah. So these are locks that were sold in the past 8 years.
What?
So now to fix this problem, there is a digital update that can be done to these locks. But according to this article, only 36% of those locks have been updated. So who knows? So go with Ruthy's advice. Make sure your lock's on, your bolt. Make sure the bolt's on when you're not in the room. And if you're not in the room, or if you're in the room, and if you're not in the room, don't leave your stuff lying around.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Also keep it tidy so that way, you can tell as soon as you walk in if somebody's been in your room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. I keep it tidy. And if they have a safe, I actually use the safe.
I use the safe too, especially if I have stuff that's somewhat valuable. But yeah, I've had friends that come into my hotel room sometimes like, oh my gosh, everything's so clean. Like, it's so neat. You're on vacation. Like, you should let everything go. Like, no, I need to know if anybody's been in here when I walk back in. Correct.
I agree. And that's why it annoys me when I stay in hotels that forces room service on you. Like, what do you call that thing?
Yeah, room service. Like, not room service. Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Because there are some places that forces housekeeping on you. Normally, I would put the do not disturb.
And they still knock anyway.
Yeah, and it's on there until I leave the hotel.
Yeah, same.
Not leave, but check out from the hotel.
Yeah, same.
But I've stayed in hotels where there is no do not disturb. I even go to the front desk. I'm like, hey, can I have a do not disturb sign? Like, oh, we don't have that.
Really?
Like really? Yeah, like your do not disturb is your bolt. That's pretty much what it is, right?
I've heard of places that they want to do housekeeping anyway, just to make sure that the guests are not being unruly and destroying property.
Oh, that's a good.
So
that's a good
why they check anyway, even if you have the do not disturb sign.
Yeah, that's a good theory actually. Yeah. That's a really good theory. Yeah, so that could be it. That could be the reason why. It has a lot to do with what Ruthy just said, and that might actually be it. I thought maybe they were just fishing for tips.
No. Not everybody leaves tips.
Because I mean, I do, but at the end, too, yeah. But at the end of my stay,
yeah,
I'm not gonna leave tips for like every day their housekeeping.
Yeah, no, I think it's like for some hotels, depending on like the quality of the hotel. Like usually, if it's like the higher the quality, it's just a service that they provide on a daily basis.
Right.
For like lesser hotels, it's really more of making sure that you don't have unruly guests that are destroying the property.
Yeah, that makes sense to me actually.
And then I guess some just disregard the do not disturb sign.
Yeah. Like, well, in my experience, they haven't. Nobody's ever broken the do not disturb sign for me. So, thankfully, I mean, I don't know because I wasn't there watching the whole time.
Yeah.
So shrug, right? And I can't exactly put the bolt on if I'm not in the hotel room. So,
yeah, that's true.
So shrug.
That's true. Yeah, you got to do the latch and then the bolt.
Yeah, exactly.
To lock it. Yeah,
exactly. And I can't do that if I'm not in the hotel room. But I do the strategy where I think everything neat. I actually pack everything up and put them in a corner somewhere so that if somebody looked at it, somebody looked at it.
Yep.
And that's what's up.
What's up?
You can find this podcast on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube at Stuff Junk Show. You can find me, Albert, on Instagram and Threads as well at Albert5x5.
You can find me on Instagram at RuthyGrace13 and Ruthy's Cats.
Music has been provided by Gloomy June. Contact info, ways to support us, and everything else is on the show notes found on whowhatwhereswhy.com. Before we wrap this up, let me give you guys a heads up on what the flashback episode is for this episode, because we're still doing that. This one was episode 8, released on June 8, 2015, titled Online Dating with Cindy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, my sister-in-law. So that's a fun one. And she talks about, online dating. so there's that. Yeah. And so enjoyed that. And We got one more day of vacation episodes. I mean, celebration episodes.
He really is on vacation mode.
Pretty much. And then next week we'll be back on our normally scheduled podcast. Hopefully,
Where I probably sound horrible because I'll be back on my AirPods.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, on the previous episode, you were on your phone.
I was, because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I was in Long Beach at the time.
I know, and we actually had the situation where we lost the signal or whatever for you.
Well, no, I accidentally muted myself, and I was talking the
There's
entire time, and I think that's why our conversation went long, because I had things to say that were not being heard.
Yes. All right. Okay. This was episode 759 of the Stuff and Junk Show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, this podcast has been a Who What Where's Why production. And Albert, go ahead and play the flashback episode now. Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show, where we talk about many different things from interesting news, social topics to what you did and what you do. You know, stuff and junk. I'm your host, Albert, and with me is...
Cindy.
For this episode, we are going to be talking about online dating horror stories.
Well, we're gonna probably first start talking about all the different online dating sites, and then we can move into like the funny stories I have to share.
Yeah, the funny stories is what I'm interested in. So, online dating sites, what have you been on?
So I've been on eHarmony, Match.com, and like most recently it's Coffee Meets Bagel, which I'm sure everyone's heard of.
Wait, what? What was it again?
Coffee Meets Bagel.
Coffee Meets Bagel.
So how it works is every day you get a bagel.
Is it a metaphorical bagel or you get an actual bagel to eat?
No, the bagel is a guy or a girl.
Oh, okay.
Basically. And I think the theory behind it is just so you could meet someone informally and have a quick coffee date. So they send you one bagel each day, and this way you won't be bombarded with too many prospects. And then you could examine your bagel really well and decide whether you want to pursue this bagel or you want to pass.
You gotta choose whether your bagel has cream cheese or if it's toasted?
Nope. Well, it's based on your Facebook, so you have common friends. So it's like one level away, or like you have one mutual friend, or like sometimes it might be a complete stranger if they run out of people that you know.
Okay, so for sure this is an app, and the bagel shows up in the app.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Do you actually meet in coffee shops, or is it irrelevant?
I think people tend to have a preference to meet at a coffee shop, but there's been like lunches or dinners also.
Okay, so what's the difference about this compared to the other ones?
This is probably one of the newer ones that's been launched. And the other ones are just typical, like for eHarmony, like you have a database of females and males, and they just try to match you up with probably like 10 or something a day. And then you just go through them and then select which ones you're interested in. And they have this thing called it defaults to guided communication, where they guide you through your communication with the other person by series of questions that you answer back and forth between the two people.
So that's eHarmony.
That's eHarmony.
So the wait, coffee and bagel, what's it called?
Coffee Meets Bagel.
Coffee Meets Bagel. So that's more kind of that sounds more like a Tinder kind of thing. Kinda.
Yeah, but not as sleazy.
I see.
Yeah.
Because Tinder is pretty much like you swipe left or right what you want, but
Yeah.
the Coffee Meets Bagel you get to choose.
Yeah, but see, the difference between Tinder is you have unlimited people you could just keep going through, right?
Right.
But then like Coffee Meets Bagel, you get one a day. And then if you pass on that one person, you get like a selection of 10 people that you could use your bagel points.
Bagel points?
Yeah,
How do you get bagel points?
you just have to keep being active on the app, and then getting your friends to sign up would get you bagel points.
Do not send me a request on Facebook saying, hey, go ahead and like this.
Yeah, so
No.
you could get bagel points that way, or you could just I think
Pay, I'm guessing.
no. Yeah,
No?
you could pay
Yeah,
also.
of course you can. How
And
much?
then-
How much is a bagel?
Oh, I'm not really sure because I never paid. But you could sometimes they have if you answer surveys or if you answer like usually if you log in every day and then you respond to your bagel, you get a certain number of bagel points, I think.
Okay. So
and
you're-
then so you could give a bagel to a friend or you could get a bagel like from the series of 10 that was like the extra bagels.
bribes?
Bribes?
Are those bribes?
No,
Like
they're
one,
not.
one of the bagels are like, I want her to choose me, so I'm gonna give her a bagel.
No, but people can. So if they decide to get a bagel and that was me, then the next day I would get this person matched up to me.
I see.
Kind of confusing in a way if you never used the app.
I never
before.
used the app, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So that's Coffee Meets Bagel. And
Wait, no,
then,
before we move on, how successful were your dates with Coffee Meets Bagel?
not very.
Why?
I'm not sure.
So, but Coffee Meets Bagel, they don't really tell you. No, I think they do. They kind of give suggestions on who you should date.
No.
No, they don't. It's really random.
Yes.
Oh,
I
then
think
yeah, that's,
so.
that,
You
that explains
have
it.
you fill out a really basic profile of what you want, like age range, and then
How
age
far
range.
they are, I'm guessing. No, I know that's a Tinder thing.
It's
Yeah.
based on distance for sure,
Okay,
and what ethnicity they are, and
Oh, okay.
religion and stuff like that.
all right. So it's more extensive than Tinder, but it's less extensive than eHarmony.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for like Match.com, it's just basically free for all. You could just go through their whole database
Wow.
if you want, and you just hit wink where you just wink
like a
someone,
red-
or
oh,
you
okay.
just message them or whatever.
So it's like almost like a public Facebook then.
Basically. Yeah.
Those are the four. Is that four? Yeah.
That's three.
Three.
Yeah.
Coffee Meets Bagel, eHarmony. Well, I guess four because I keep mentioning Tinder, and then
Match.com.
Match.com.
Yeah.
Out of the three, which one did you like the most?
Initially, I kind of like Coffee Meets Bagel because I feel like I could just concentrate on one person and not have to go through and spend so much time going through their database and sorting through all these guys. And then, I don't know. But then, like, I feel like my matches on Coffee Meets Bagel were pretty bad. I mean, the dates were pretty bad.
So when you're more in charge of who to choose, it becomes bad. Is that what you're getting at?
No, but I think because you're only limited to one choice a day, you wanna give it at least a shot. And
Okay.
then when you get matched up, they give you an exclusive line where you could message each other, and then at that point you could kind of see if you want to give them your number or set up a date or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah.
Huh. I guess that's the one thing that keeps going over my head though. You get one choice a day thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, if I was in that situation, I probably wouldn't use it. Although I guess it's almost like, well, who's my date gonna be today? Who's my one? Is that how it was with you?
Oh, I think for women it might be a little bit different because I know for Match.com, every time when I first sign up, people they put a newbie like little image next to you, and then guys just bombard you with messages, and
Yeah.
then after a week, everything dies down, and it
Because there's
becomes
always a newbie.
yeah, because they
Right.
think, oh, she's new, I gotta hit her up, and then she's gonna respond because she just signed up.
It sounds more like people just want to take advantage of new people.
So, I mean, for Coffee Meets Bagel, you don't get that problem, obviously. So, I think that's probably one of the advantages of being on Coffee Meets Bagel.
Okay. All right. So
And plus, it's free.
aren't they? Oh, that's right. They're not all free. eHarmony you gotta pay. Match.com you have to pay.
And they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Yeah. Well, they claim that they will get results and whatnot.
Yeah. So, Match.com, I think they had this thing where if you sign up for 6 months, and if you don't find someone, they'll give you another 6 months for free.
Okay. I'm shaking my head. You can't see me here, but yeah, I'm shaking my head. But so, tell me your online dating horror stories.
Okay, so I met this guy. Well, okay, so one guy, I remember meeting him, and we met somewhere close to my house. And then I remember he was telling me this story about how he got a bag of coffee beans from somebody. And then I didn't really think much of it. And he was just kind of saying, oh, I want to get into making coffee and like being a coffee connoisseur or something.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't think.
Does he work in Starbucks?
No, he was. Yeah, so I think the day went okay, and then I never heard from him after that. But strangely, a week later, I meet this other guy, and this other guy was really weird. He wanted to go, well, it's not really weird, but the date was kind of weird because he wanted to meet at a coffee shop during dinner time. And I have this pet peeve when people do that. It kind of pisses me off because I am hungry.
Oh, okay.
And they want
Coffee shops had food.
but it's dinner time. Coffee goes in the morning or in the afternoon.
Right.
Not during dinner time.
Right. Oh, by the way, before you continue, so both of these dates were from Coffee Meets Bagel?
Yes.
Okay.
So the second guy we meet. Oh, so I met both these guys at the same coffee shop.
Interesting.
So I thought that was kind of weird. I was just like, oh, people must really like this coffee shop. So
are you gonna drop a name or is it a name?
No,
brand?
honestly, I can't remember their names.
Okay.
anymore.
No, not their names. The coffee name. The coffee place.
Oh, it's Red Rock.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So this
Feel
guy.
free to sponsor the show if you'd like to. Okay.
This guy, he met me during a day where there was a live band. But I didn't realize it wasn't like a professional band. It was just like anybody come sing at the coffee shop.
So it's an open night.
Yeah.
Open mic.
Yeah, open mic night. So it was kind of weird because he grabbed a seat right in front of the stage. And it was so loud. But then,
I was gonna say, like, did he not want to hear what you have to say?
Yeah. So we kind of had probably like 20 minutes before the band kind of kicked off. But it was just like he had the same story about how he got a bag of coffee beans. And I'm sure you could kind of guess where the story is gonna go. And I was like, where did I hear this story from before? And then I just kept thinking and thinking, and then I realized, I was like, hey, do you know this person? And he's like, yeah, he's my roommate. Why? Do you know him? And I was like, oh my God.
Wait, so do they both have the same dream about coffee beans?
I guess they must have gotten the same bag of coffee beans and they want to figure out how to brew coffee.
The other guy was like, oh, this is my stock story starter. Feel free to use it if you want to.
Yeah, and then so at that point I just felt super awkward because they were roommates, but he kind of played it cool and was like, well, it happens because based on the distance, that's just what happens, and it happens sometimes. But I just thought it was such a coincidence that he was the guy I meet right after his roommate, right? But I guess his roommate didn't say anything about me, but yeah, so then...
Wait, you didn't ask him? Did your roommate say anything about me?
I think I probably did. Or did your roommates tell you about me or whatever?
Okay, because that'll be the first thing that'll be on my mind. Like, what did they say?
Yeah. Well, he probably, even if they trash talk me, he probably wouldn't tell me
Of
that.
course not. Of course not. But you want to see what he would say.
Yeah, so after that, it was so awkward. And I think it was kind of my fault too. I was like really flustered. So I started texting my friends like, oh my God, why you know what just happened? And then
No, I don't blame you. I mean, that would be completely my reaction too.
Yeah, so he was just probably annoyed with me. And then the band kicked off. And it wasn't like it was great music or anything because they're all amateurs.
Right. What kind of music were they playing?
I have no idea.
Was it acoustic or electric?
I think people did whatever they wanted.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a mess and it was loud. And I just felt like we couldn't even have a conversation. I mean, if we had gone upstairs, there's another sitting area upstairs that would have been better, but we were sitting right in front of the stage and it was so loud. And then I think by like 8 o'clock I'm like, okay, I'm done, right? And I just told him, I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna take off. And he didn't even bother leaving with me, right?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so he just said, oh, okay, I think I'm just gonna stick around And like, I'm just gonna stay a little longer. And I was just like, okay, all right, see ya.
Yeah, I think as soon as he realized that you knew his roommate, or at least met his roommate, he's like, "Yep, this is gonna be a lost cause."
Yeah, he probably just thought it was just as awkward as how I felt.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, but you know what? If he was really good, he would have overcome that.
I know he
Yeah.
could have at least walked me out, but he didn't even have the decency to do that. So I was just like, okay, forget you.
Yeah. Well, that's date number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Any other horror stories or stuff?
Well, there was this one guy I met. I guess he's a nice guy. I mean, I live in the Bay Area and there's a lot of engineers. So you kind of expect them to be socially awkward.
Of course, of course.
And then I was like, okay, whatever. So he wanted to go to Red Rock too.
Oh God, what is it with that place?
I don't know. It's like a hippie.
Do they have one in Southern
No,
California?
it's a really small.
It's a Bay Area thing.
Yeah, it's just probably a mom and pop shop.
Okay.
But like he wanted to go there too, but it was so packed and there was nowhere to sit. So we ended up going to boba shop. So this guy, I thought he was nice. He was tall. He was an engineer. He seemed like a nice guy, kind of shy. And then so we went to a boba shop close by. And this guy, and I thought he's Asian. You gotta have boba before, right?
Wait. You're about to tell me that he never had boba before.
I don't know, okay?
Okay.
So we go to a boba shop, and you know how the bobas have a seal on the top?
Yes.
And he was watching me too, okay? So I just poked my straw through the thing, and he was like trying to peel it.
Oh.
And I was like, no, you don't do that. You just poke it through, right?
You didn't go, what is wrong with you?
No, I was trying to be nice. So, and then so he was trying to poke it through. First time he couldn't do it. And then he tried to poke it second time. And then it exploded, right?
Wow.
And then the foam got everywhere. And then so to me, like a normal human being would get up, go grab some napkins and wipe off, right?
Right.
And he just started wiping off with his sleeves and his arms. And like, I was just like, what the heck?
Wow. Talk about socially awkward.
And then I was just like, oh, you missed a spot here. And then he said, oh, like what he said after that was something that I think it made it even worse and more noticeable, like what happened. He was just like, oh, this is not the first impression I wanted to make. And
yeah, no kidding. Mm.
I was just like, oh God. And then like throughout the whole thing, he was just stuttering like there's no tomorrow. And I was just like, yeah. And
Basically,
then,
he was completely flustered and embarrassed what happened.
so I just thought maybe he was nervous or whatever, right?
I'm guessing he is.
I don't know. But then like,
The poor nerd.
I mean, he's a super nice guy. After the day, he texts me, oh, I had a great time, whatever, like a gentleman, right? And then I think he tried to follow up a day or 2 days after. And then he was stuttering on the phone too. So I was like, okay, yeah, no.
Yeah. The stereotypical nerd.
Yeah, so...
All right.
But the funny story was later on, like maybe a month later, I met another guy at a restaurant. And then I didn't recognize the stuttering guy until, apparently stuttering guy was there on a date too. And he was at the table next to me.
Oh, wow. Okay. You and your coincidences. Wow. Okay.
He was at the table next to me. And at first I didn't recognize him. I just thought he looked kind of familiar, but I'm really bad with like faces and stuff. So I was just like, oh, okay. Like maybe I do know him, or I can't remember who he was until I heard him speak.
Oh, you heard him stutter.
Yes. That's when I knew, oh, it's the stuttering guy.
You know, I have a tendency to stutter too, so I can feel for the guy. But my God.
But no, not when you stutter all the time. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I don't think I can deal with that.
So wait, so what happened? You left the restaurant? How
No,
was your other date?
I told my date and he found it pretty amusing.
Of course. I would find it amusing too.
And then, yeah. But then that guy that I was on a date on, he was pretty weird too. Apparently he sleeps at a really strange time. And I was like, are you living in Asia time? Because he would sleep in the morning And like, I don't know. He was just
Does
weird.
he work graveyard?
He doesn't work.
Oh, he doesn't work at all.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was kind of weird too.
So he's one of those guys who has a nightlife, and there's no point.
He was just like, oh, so we're gonna go. So I was like, oh, let's go watch a movie the next day in the afternoon. And he was like, I don't know if I can wake up. And I was just like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to a friend's place to play poker all night. And I'm like,
Yeah, he's one of those people.
who plays poker all night with you?
Don't you remember high school?
I know, but
all you want to do is do stuff at night.
He is in his late 30s.
Right, that's what I mean. He's stuck in that life. He's like, I gotta do something at night because that's cool.
He's got issues. And then
Yes, clearly.
he was just like, oh yeah, I can't commit to a movie time because I just don't know. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I think I got pissed off and I said, you have no respect for other people's time, because he was just like, oh, I'll let you know.
Wow.
And then like next day he didn't even bother to cancel. I was like, wow, you're the worst. Oh, so this guy was introduced by his friend. I met his friend. And his friend passed me as a bagel to this guy.
Okay.
And because his friend thought we would be a good match. Yeah.
All right.
That's Coffee Meets Bagel.
But you know his friend?
I met his friend once.
Okay, but it wasn't a date.
It was a date.
Oh, it was a date.
It was a date.
Is there a story there too or no?
No, not really. He was he was a nice guy, I think.
Jeez, are you
Just not very. I think we just didn't connect, and he just didn't say. I think we didn't have much to talk about. We're very shy people.
so the impression I got right now for Coffee Meets Bagel is that you're gonna most likely meet people in the same circles. That's the impression I'm getting right now, because that's what you're getting.
Well, it's connected by your Facebook friends, so
Right.
it's like one level.
Oh, so it's like a friend of a friend. It has to be a
Yeah.
friend of a friend.
Well, no, not all the time. When they ran out, or like sometimes they'll throw you some random strangers.
So a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
I don't know, maybe.
Do you remember Friendster? How
Yeah.
they tell you like the 6 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. Before I go, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
For now.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Hopefully that was interesting enough. And
it
fun.
interested me. I have heard of Coffee Meets Bagels. I never actually understood what it was about. So now I know.
Yep.
Yeah. Very interesting. I'm almost tempted to say I don't recommend it, but based on your stories. But okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening. My name is Albert Patrick, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Albert5x5. And check out my other podcasts and movie reviews at whowhatwhereswhy.com.
And this is Cindy. Thank you for listening.
You can send comments at whowhatwhereswhy@gmail.com, via social media, or through the website. Rate and subscribe to our shows on iTunes or your favorite podcast service. Music has been provided by the Y-Axis. Check them out at thyaxis.bandcamp.com. Well, thanks, Cindy, for sharing your online dating horror stories. Maybe next time we can talk about online dating stories that are less horrific.
Okay, thanks, Albert, for having me.
All right. Until next time, this has been the Stuff and Junk Show, which is part of the whowhatwhereswhy.com network.